I started coming to church when I was 4. My aunt would always bug us and tell us, you guys should come to New Life Center, you guys should come. And I remember that my parents were kind of like, not weirded out, but we were weirded out because we didn't know what to expect. Like, we were used to like people speaking Spanish and not really understanding what was being told to us. And then coming here, it was completely different. Like, everyone was so nice. And before I knew it, I was actually singing for the kids' worship team. I started doing that every Sunday, and that's how we just stayed here since I was little. And then from there, as I started growing up, Jessica always kind of forced me to stay involved with the teens. When I started working in the Never Stand Alone building, it felt good. Everything felt right. It felt like I belonged there. It felt like I had to be there to help the younger teens survive through like days where they felt like they couldn't, and they just needed to be reminded that God was there for us. But I had a bright idea, and I decided to make my own path somewhere far from church, far from God, far from the people that I loved. I wanted to stop being involved in church so much. I felt like that's just not what I wanted. I felt like that's what everyone else wanted for me. And so when I decided to take my own path, it ended up being the worst thing I could have ever done to my life. Instead of falling in love with God first, then loving myself, I ended up falling in love for someone else, someone who made me feel worthless. I felt as if I was like the ugliest thing that ever hit this planet Earth. I was verbally abused for 2-3 years, and I felt like that's all I was worth. I felt as if I had no future for myself, that all I was worth was sitting at home crying in my room because I was ugly and just no one liked me. And after that, that's when my darkest days hit me, and I felt like I had no one because of the person that I thought was going to be there for me. It ended up being where I was alone. I was still coming to church on a daily basis, but only because my mom forced me to come. I actually stopped being involved with Never Stand Alone. But every time that I came, especially on Sundays, Jessica never let me forget that I was worth more than I was influenced to think that I was worth. She always reminded me the potential that I had and all the gifts God has given me. And she always reminded me that I was beautiful and that God loved me, and that the power of the way I was able to speak to kids is something that I needed to refine in myself. I needed to refine the love that I had for myself and for God. In summer 2017, I was tricked into going to church camp and helping take pictures and videos of the young kids and the teenagers by not only my mom, but by Jessica. And those two ladies are the only people that reminded me I was worth something still, and that God still loved me no matter what I did. And being at church camp, I remember going up there with Jessica and in her car, and I hated it. I wanted to just roll out of her car. I didn't want to be in there, and I sure as heck didn't want to be going to church camp with kids and people that I didn't even like or want to be around. I hated everyone that was around me. I just didn't want to be there. I didn't care what people thought about me. I didn't care for anyone's opinion. I just wanted to go home and just throw my little tantrum. And when I got up that mountain and when I started taking pictures, everything hit me. I felt like my heart started to open up again. I wasn't this rude person that everyone thought I was. I felt like I started to see myself in all the kids and all the teenagers, and I started to realize that those days where I was so happy and so in love with God, and the days where nothing could change the way I thought about my life and my walk with God. When I came back down the mountain, that's when it finally hit me. I decided that it was time to stop playing this card where like my life sucked, everything was against me. I decided that it was time to get back on the right path, the path that was still there for me from when I was 13. And I got baptized on August 27th of 2017 by Jessica Vitella. On that day, it was amazing to feel all the joy that came back into my life. It felt like everything I did in the past just wasn't there anymore. Now on a daily basis, I just have to remind myself that God's greater than any of the highs and the lows that I go through. And I just remember that, and I know that God loves me no matter what I've done or what I'm gonna do. And yeah.
I'm gonna go murder someone, but I know God's gonna love me.
Okay, maybe I should reword it then. Gonna go kill you tonight, but God loves me. Pull out a gun, huh? I know God loves me. So Bella, I'm gonna shoot you for not getting the right angle. Okay, ready, Freddies?